Hey guys, Kurt here, and today I want to talk about what are twin flames. Before you watch this video, however, if you did not see my video yesterday called The 5 True Signs This is Your Twin Flame, go back and watch that video first before you watch this video, because there's parts of this video that might not make sense if you don't watch that video first. So, what are twin flames? Well, everybody knows that it's the other half of your soul, right? And I'm going to try to keep this video as short as I can. I'm going to try to not make it too complicated because there's a lot of things that we could talk about, okay? But I'll just try to make it real simple. The first thing we need to talk about before we can talk about twin flames, so there's two things. First, what the soul is, and second, we need to do a quick little ditty about energy. And then I can tell you what twin flames are, but I can't explain it to you until you understand those two things first. So, first, the soul. What is the soul? Well, simply, it's you. When you do the thing that we call die, your body ceases to exist, and so does your mind. Well, your body ceases to function, right? And your mind ceases to exist. What's left? You, the soul, okay? Think of it this way. Everybody has the ability to view their own thoughts, their own mind. You can look at your mind and your thoughts, and everybody does this every day. They look at it and they go, why am I thinking that? What the hell, right? Or whatever. You're saying, oh, I have to love myself. I got to have this relationship with myself. I got to be good to myself. Okay? Here's the thing. If there's thoughts that you can look at, and there's a you that's able to look at the thoughts, what's you? Let me say that again. If there's thoughts and there is a you that looks at the thoughts, what's you? Right? Did you ever stop to think, no pun intended, what that is? What is the you that's looking at the thoughts? And right there, right off the bat, that's got to tell you something, that there is a you that is separate from the thoughts. There's thoughts and then there's you. Right off the bat, that tells you, okay, that there is a you. And it's not your mind, it's not your thoughts, and it's not your body either. So what's the you? The soul. And it's kind of hard to say it's the soul or it's your soul. And this is the problem with words, right? Words are poor communicators, okay? Because when I say the soul or your soul, it kind of sounds like it's separate from you somehow. So I just want to point that out to break down that barrier. That is you. That's you. And another thing, you can't have a relationship with yourself. I have to love myself. I have to know myself. I have to be good to myself. I have to think about what I want. Right? Everybody's always trying to figure out how to have a relationship. I was listening to a song lyric today. I got my Nirvana shirt on, right? But I was listening to another rock group that I really like, and the lyric was, I think it was trying to save myself, but myself keeps slipping away, or something like that. I'm trying to save myself, but myself, and he was very deliberate about delivering those lyrics. I'm trying to save myself, but myself, two words, myself keeps slipping away. And that's the way people think about it. What's myself? Everybody has this identity, this personality, okay, this ego, this id. And that's what they think the self is. That's what we've been conditioned to believe in our civilization, that you is. That's what you is. And that's not poor English. That's a clever way I thought of to get my point across. What is you? What is the self? You can't have a relationship with yourself. If there's a yourself and there's a you trying to have a relationship with it, once again, what's the you? So that should tell you something, that this so-called yourself, this thing that you're trying to have a relationship with, is not you. You see the yourself that you is trying to have a relationship with. I gotta love myself. I gotta know myself, whatever, right? You are not that. You are not an identity. You are you. A soul. That's what you is. A soul. And the soul is pure consciousness. An amoeba. An amoeba, a single-celled organism. Right? It's so tiny that you can fit millions of them on a speck of dust. Right? It knows it exists. And there isn't any debate in the scientific or biology community, right, whether or not the amoeba knows that it exists. And it's so tiny that you can fit millions of them on a speck of dust. Everything is on YouTube these days, right? And I don't know why. Well, I do now, right? I use this as a tool to teach this to people. And this video popped up in my feed one day, right as I was designing my Introduction to the Journey course. And it was a video of an amoeba being filmed through an electron microscope, which is a very sensitive microscope that can see very small things. And it was an amoeba dying. And the amoeba was like disintegrating and like falling apart, and like pieces of it were falling off. And you could see the little hairs, the little villi around the one side of the amoeba, like freaking out. It was freaking out. The amoeba was visibly alarmed because it was fucking dying. And like, if you get shot, you won't, okay? I just want to put that out there. But hypothetically, if something like that happened, or you get hit by a car and you're there and you are dying, you're getting lightheaded, you're like, oh shit, I think this is it, right? You know you're dying. Okay, that's what was happening to the amoeba, and I apologize for bringing up a dark thing, but here's why I'm bringing this up. The amoeba knows it's dying. How? Huh? How? How does the amoeba know it's dying? Because it knows that it exists. The amoeba knows that it exists. So it has this energy, it has this essence, this life force energy. Okay? It is life on a deeper level. Like you, it knows it exists. There's the thoughts, and then there's you that sees the thoughts, or I have to blah, blah, blah with myself. Well, who's looking at the myself part, right? Okay, so that's biology. What about psychology? Well, psychology is a little closer because at least psychology is going to ask you to look at your thoughts. It's just that a psychologist is going to tell you that you have to analyze the thoughts and you have to organize them and rearrange them and do something with the thoughts. Okay? And that's not spirituality. Spirituality is when you align with the looker, that which is looking at the thoughts. Okay? But you got to ask yourself, who's doing the looking? Right? Psychology wants you to look at the thoughts, but who's doing the looking? You. Pure consciousness. That's the soul. Now, the soul is also pure love. When you align with your soul, somebody like Eckhart Tolle, for example, and I only use him all the time because everybody knows who he is, but there's a lot of other people out there, John Butler, right? When you align with your soul, all you're doing is increasing your level of consciousness, okay? You are quieting the mind so that your soul, the energy of your soul, can shine through, and you feel this sense of peace and tranquility. That's pure love. That's real love. The soul. Okay? And real love feels like Zen, Nirvana. I actually did not wear this shirt on purpose, but it works, right? I just happened to pick this shirt, and I went to have dinner, and I came back, and now I'm shooting this video. But Nirvana, Zen, peace, right? That's pure love. The mind is based on a system of dualities, of opposites. And everything in this physical world is. The soul, and I don't want to take another 25, 30 minutes explaining this piece of it. So you're just going to have to take my word for this, okay? But the soul is a monad. It's a monad. It's one. It's one thing. Okay? It's not, here's the thing about it. It's like a singularity. And I don't know if any of you know what that is, but there's a very good book by, what's the guy's name? Hawkins. What the fuck is his name? Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking called A Brief History of Time, and he explains this, and he explains it a lot. It's just, that book is really digestible if you're interested in kind of geeky stuff like that, like I am. But a singularity is really a single point, but to give you an idea of how it works, it goes something like this. It's not a thing, and it's also not nothing. A singularity. It's not a thing, and it's not nothing. Think of like before the Big Bang took place, before this physical universe existed. What was there? Were there things? No. There was not physical reality yet. This was before the Big Bang. Okay, so it was just a big vacuum, right? It was just empty space. No. You can't call it nothing, because if you call it nothing, you have defined it. You've given it form. You've given it a name. And you can't have that. It's not a thing, and it's not nothing. It's a singularity. It's neither. That's bizarre. Okay? And like mathematics, like physicists understand this, okay? So there's the Big Bang, the universe expands out, and then it closes back in on itself, and it returns to a single point. Okay? And physicists have calculated what that's going to look like mathematically in time, over a period of time, as you are getting closer to the singularity. And when you reach the time of singularity, mathematics itself breaks down completely. It does not function anymore, to the point where you cannot even have zero. You cannot even use zero to describe a singularity. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. Well, can you use negative numbers? No. Can you use positive numbers? No. Can you use zero? No. Well, what can you use? Nothing. Right? And it's an irony for me to have even said that, right? Because it's not a thing and it's not nothing. It's... okay? It's a singularity. It's ether. Your soul. Okay? This physical reality, on the other hand, is a duality. Everything in this physical world is based on opposites. It's called Einstein's general theory of relativity, things being relative to one another. Up, down, hot, cold, left, right, man, woman, past, future, positive, negative, right? Duality, opposites, that's this physical world. Everything is based on that, and so is your mind. Feel good, feel shitty. Feel good, feel bad. Love, fear. Love, fear. Love and fear are the root of all human emotions. And all human emotions are the interaction between your mind and your physical body. Okay? The mind operates on this system of duality. All human emotions are rooted in either a feeling of love or a feeling of fear. If you think about it, you know it's true. Love, happiness, excitement, passion, okay? Fear, hate, depression, sadness, disappointment, boredom. Love, fear. Feel good, feel bad. Positive, negative. Right? Duality, that's the mind. Your soul is singularity. Duality, dual, two, right? Duality, the mind. Soul, singularity, one. Singularity, one. There's no opposite. You can't have opposites. That's why you can't have a thing and you can't have nothing. It's not hot or cold. It's not good or bad. It just is your soul. Okay? It's not love or fear. It's pure love. It's not, here, let me see if I can find this drawing. Give me a second. I just made this really crappy, you guys are going to love my crappy drawings. I just made this drawing. You have to see it. Here, let me pause this while I look for it. Okay. Dichotomy, and you guys have seen me talk about dichotomy on this channel before. You have a situation where there is a thing that is B. Okay, never mind this. There's B and there's not B. And they both have to exist in order for the other to exist. But when you back away from the whole, when you're down here living in it, you see a flat surface. You're a little tiny thing that lives on the surface here somewhere. And you either see B or not B. Well, you really, in this 3D world, all we see is B. Okay? And then one day, somehow we cross over, when we become enlightened and we see, oh, it's not B. Not B is also true. And then we become more enlightened and we realize, oh, it's A. A is the combination of B and not B. Okay? It's neither of these because it's actually A. All right? That's a singularity. There's many unique individual souls, of which I am one and you are, and there's only one big soul, God. Well, wait, is it a bunch of individual unique souls, or is it one big soul? It's both, and it has to be that way. It's a dichotomy. It's a dichotomy. It looks like it contradicts, but it doesn't. It's actually not one or. It's both. And when you really get to the real core truth about it, it turns out that it's actually not even both. It's just one thing. It's a singularity, your soul. There's no opposites. It's one thing. It's only love. It's only love. B is where there's love and fear. Not B is where there's only love. And then you go, oh shit, it's actually A. This paradigm doesn't even exist. It's really this paradigm. It's only love, the soul. Okay? Now, God wanted to experience itself as love. Before the Big Bang, all there was pure love, the singularity, source. Okay? And God said, I know I am love. I want to experience love. How can I experience love? Because here's the problem. If all you ever are is hot, and that's all you've ever been, and you've never been anything but hot, how would you know? How would you even know that you were hot? You wouldn't. You've only ever been one thing, only ever. And that's all of it. That's all of it. That's A, right? That's A. That's all of it. That's A. There's no opposite. One day, there was cold. Bam. Oh! I get it. I was hot before, and now I'm cold. And I can be hot again. So, Source split itself up at the moment of the Big Bang into an infinite number of smaller pieces that were relative to itself, relativity, duality, opposites. The Big Bang. And now you can have positive or negative. You can have love and something less than love. Fear is what we call it. Now, for God to experience itself at love, so God could, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. God can now experience itself as love because there was an opposite. It is love, but it doesn't really, it can't feel that it's love. It can't know that it's love. It can't experience that it is love, God, before the Big Bang. After the Big Bang, there's opposites. So God can experience fear, and then from fear move up the sliding scale into love. And it can feel love and experience love and taste it and know that it is love and be love again. We are all here so that Source can experience itself as itself, love. Another reason, I suppose you could say, why we are here is so that we can all be the next greatest version of the highest vision we ever had of ourselves, which is love, pure love, Source. Okay? So that's why the duality was created, so that God could experience itself as love. It first has to experience the opposite of love and then move into love again to experience it, to feel it. Now, here's the problem. Here's where twin flames come in. The soul is a monad. It's a singularity. This physical reality is a duality. How do we make the soul compatible? First, really quick, one detour. This is a magnet. In a magnet, the electrons always travel from the positive to the negative. Always. Same in a battery. The reason that we call this positive, like in a battery, perfect example. Why do we call this positive and this is negative? Well, in a charged battery, essentially, I'm kind of dumbing it down, but essentially, there's a significantly higher number of electrons at the positive pole than there is at the negative pole when the battery is charged. And the battery wants to be balanced. It wants its natural state. So when you hook up a wire to the battery, the electrons naturally want to flow from positive to negative. Or think of an hourglass. When you turn it upside down, the positive flows to the negative. The side with more sand, positive, flows to the side with less sand, negative. That is a simple function of this physical duality that we live in. And in a magnet, it's not any different. Okay, it's just perpetual. Okay, that is the direction of travel. If you want, you can pause this video, open up a new tab, go to your internet browser and type in magnet metal flakes, right? And it's where, you know, like the science teacher, they'll take like a bunch of metal flakes or metal shavings, like magnet metal shavings. Google magnet metal shavings. And somebody takes a bunch of metal shavings and lays it out flat on a surface and then takes the magnet and places it on the metal shavings. And it makes this shape out of the metal shavings. It makes this shape around the magnet out of the metal shavings. It looks just like this. Go Google that. Google images, and you'll see this. Now, what's happening is basically this. Right? The physical electron particles, the electron particles that are moving from the positive pole to the negative pole, because that's what's happening, there's trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of electrons flowing from the positive to the negative, okay? And the moving electrons is called magnetism. And electrons are tiny little particles. They're so small you can't see them, but they are physical things. You could theoretically put them on a scale and weigh them. They have mass. They exist. They are things, right? But they're so small you can't see them. Well, basically, it's like the wind. I can't see wind either, but I can feel when I blow on my hand. So the electrons are actually physically moving the metal shavings into the shape to match into the shape that they are traveling around the magnet. The electrons are actually physically moving around the magnet in that shape. That's why they make that shape out of the metal shavings. So if you look at what's going on in a magnet, it's basically where the positive pole, P-O-L-E, the positive pole is chasing the negative pole. And if you look at what the negative pole is doing, it's kind of like the negative pole is running away from the positive pole. Get it? The positive pole is chasing the negative pole, and the negative pole is running away. And because there's that imbalance, the electrons move around. Now, twin flames. You are body, mind, and spirit, right? This is your physical body, your astral body, and your soul. The astral body is chakras, telepathy, Reiki, telepathic energy, and it's controlled by the mind. And this haze that's around it, that's your ego. It's trapped mind energy. It's trapped thoughts and feelings. It's all those patterns that you think you are, but you're not. You, again, you is what sees the patterns, sees the thoughts, sees the emotions. That's what you is. Okay, this is not you, but everybody on this planet has been conditioned to believe that's what you is, okay, but it's not. Well, anyway, the astral body is what anchors your physical body to your soul, source. Your soul is a little tiny piece of source. Okay, body, mind, spirit. And again, the mind works on a system of duality. The soul is a singularity. It's a monad. It's one. It has no opposite. It's pure love only. The mind operates on love, fear, good, bad, positive, negative. The soul, a singularity, wants to incarnate into this physical reality of dualities. It's a singularity. It wants to exist on the plane of dualities. So the soul must polarize itself. And it does so at the astral level. This is your physical body. This is your twin flame's physical body. Your astral body is the positive polarity of your soul. Your twin flame's astral body is the negative polarity of your soul. Everybody is and has a twin flame, and they have to, in order to exist on this plane of dualities. The soul must polarize. The soul is a singularity. It polarizes at the level of the astral body. That's why you feel physical pain. If you remember from my video yesterday, when I said one of the signs is physical pain, okay? Because when your twin flame pulls away from you, what that does to you is to energetically trigger your metaphysical astral body. And you feel physical pain. And it also triggers the obsessive thinking and the dark night of the soul. It is, and what is happening is the metaphysical energy between you becomes very activated when they pull away from you, okay? And it triggers this. This gets like pulled away and sucked away, and it melts away, this ego, right? The ego, the false sense of self, it gets shattered and broken up, and it pulls away. It gets sucked away. That's your twin flame pulling it away from you, and it like melts away. It feels like your ego is melting away. In traditional Eastern religions, a lot of them call that ego death. And ego death can occur through a lot of things, not just your twin flame. Okay, it just happened to be that you met your other self, and that's how that's how your spiritual ascension was triggered. But the direction of flow of energy can only flow, metaphysical energy can only flow from you to your twin flame. You can't switch polarities, you guys. It's one magnet. It's one magnet. Okay? I've seen this all the time. Oh, I think I'm divine masculine now. No, you're not. No, you're not. Well, I think we switched roles. No, I'm not. Whatever happens in the 3D, whatever happens in the 3D doesn't matter. All that matters between you and your twin is energy. It's not that there's two magnets. There's not two of you. It's not you're attracted to each other and now you're repelling each other, right? When you have the two same polarities of the two magnets facing each other, they repel each other. Oh, and I just have to flip my polarity. No, that's not a thing. That's not an accurate analogy. You are one. You are one. It's one magnet. You're not separate from your twin. You are one being. Your energy travels to them only. Only. Period. And if you feel any emotional, anything towards them, that pushes them away. That's what pushes them away, is your metaphysical energy. No, you cannot read their mind. No, you cannot feel their feelings. Oh, my twin flame is sad. They're full of so much sorrow, and I just know that they're having a bad time. I can feel them. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your energy can only travel to them. That's all. That's all. You are not feeling their energy. You're feeling your energy. You're them. That is your it's the fear of your mind. Your mind is rooted in fear. It's a duality, okay? And it's addicted to your twin flame's energy, and it's trying to get a hit, and it can't. So it's using your energy to fool you, to keep you addicted to the physical person. So it'll give you all kinds of experiences, like you think you are feeling them. Oh, you're feeling their energy now. Oh, I'm feeling them emotionally. Some people report, and I actually had this happen to me multiple times. A long time ago when I was first on my journey, I felt like my twin was physically with me, like she was physically laying on top of me. Other people I talked to, some of the students that I've coached, they say that they felt like their twin flame was having actual physical sexual intercourse with them. That's your energy. Your energy is your twin flame's energy. You are one. You are one. You are one. You are one. You're stuck here. Your mind is trying to keep you stuck here. I'm trying to get you to at least go here. And if you can go here, then I can get you to here, which is the real truth. Okay? Your mind is thinking this. It's thinking that you're separate, and it's using this energy to fool you. You are your twin flame. So when you feel like they're physically with you, or you feel them emotionally or whatever, it's you. They are you. Your mind is using that energy against you to trick you. But on the metaphysical level, your energy can only travel to them. That's all. That's the only direction it can travel. So anyway, there you go. There's what twin flames are and why there are twin flames, and even a little lesson, a little ditty at the end there about what the telepathic shit is that's going on with you and your twin flame. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one, but it needed to be in order to explain this topic. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like, and I'll see you guys next time.